So guys, welcome back to Backpacking the World with Rodrigo, that's me. Uh, this is just a review of Costa Rica. This is just based on all my experience and all the things that I learned from that country. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, what is it, Costa Rica? Well, it is a country that is in Central America. It's located between Panama and Nicaragua. It's located in the tropical region of the planet, so there is a lot of rain. This country is beautiful, it's amazing, it's full of amazing landscapes and a lot of things to do. And a fun fact, it's considered one of the happiest countries in the entire world. So you can expect a lot of good things from a country like this. In this country, I visited different places. I visited the Caribbean side in Puerto Viejo. I also visited the main city in the country, that is San Jose. I also visited a city that is next to that one, that is called Alajuela. Went to volcanoes, a lot of things over there. And I also went to the Pacific coast to a town that is called Santa Teresa town. It's amazing, and we're gonna talk about all these places today. It's kind of like a review of all these amazing, cool experience that I had in Costa Rica. So, pura vida. And we are gonna start in Puerto Viejo. That is the first town that I visited in Costa Rica. I crossed the border near to the Caribbean side, and it was a good experience. I think it was easier than what it could have been crossing to the Pacific side. So it was a very cool experience. When I got to this town, I started realizing that there was a lot of Rasta culture. These guys with the dreads, and like everyone is so cool, so chill. I love this town. There are a lot of things to do over there. There is surfing, there is snorkeling, waterfalls, walks, national parks to visit, a lot of things to do in general over there. One of my favorite things in that place was the food. I love the food from Puerto Viejo. It's kind of like, it still being food from Costa Rica, is traditional food from Costa Rica, but it has a little extra like Afro influence, so the food is like a little bit more spicy, it's more seasoned, and it's just amazing. I love it. I love that food. Something that you may want to know about the people in Costa Rica is that they are very lovely and very friendly. And in Puerto Viejo, the people is just like that. They are chill, they are good people, they always try to help you. If they see you in the street, they are always smiling to you. And that's one of the things that I really love from this place. The people, they are amazing. Now, places to stay, there are different places to stay, a lot of hostels, even hotels in that place, different prices, of course, like everywhere. Prices could go from $6 up to $100 or even more. I stayed in a hostel over there that was not that bad, was not that expensive. I would recommend it. The name of the place is Rocking Jays. Was a very good experience. Now, this town is more like a touristic spot, so there are a lot of visitors from all over the globe. You can find people from the United States, Canada, people from Mexico, people from everywhere around the globe. They go to this place because it's just amazing. But most of the people that you can find over there are locals, people who have been living in that place for generations, for a lot of time, and they have learned how to interact with the visitors and make a life out of it. It's like a touristic business over there, so these guys are also getting some help, some money out of it, and that's good. A lot of people in Costa Rica, actually, they don't have a job because all the situation that is happening right now, all like the pandemic stuff, a lot of people don't have jobs right now. No, prices in this place, I would say that is expensive. At least for me, I'm from Panama. Our minimum wage is around 600 to 800 maybe in 1 month. And this place in Puerto Viejo, the food could be $10 or $13, even more. A breakfast could be $7, even more. If you get a drink, you get a beer, that will be like $3-4. So for me, in general, it's pretty expensive, but I would say that it's 100% worth it. Now, personally, my favorite thing of Puerto Viejo was the people. I love the vibes that these people were giving to me, so I would say that was my favorite part of Puerto Viejo. Now, let's check the requirements to get into Costa Rica. Always the first thing is your passport. It needs to be updated, and you may check it out if it is about to expire because it will have some troubles getting in there. You also are going to be required to fill up an online form that is called Pase de Salud. You go, put all your information over there, and then they give you a QR code. With that QR code, once you get to the immigration place, you show it to the people there and they're going to scan it, they're going to have your information there. Something that you need to fill up this form is traveler's insurance. They're going to ask you for like a number that your traveler's insurance company is going to give you, and with that you can get into the country. Now this is just in case that you get the Roni Pony, the COVID stuff, you know, but they ask you for it because you're gonna need a place to stay, you're gonna need a hotel, you're gonna need someone to take care of you, and your insurance company is gonna pay for that. So that's a very important thing. Now back to Puerto Viejo, let's talk about the transportation. That is one of the main things that you are always gonna need. You can rent different stuff over there. You can rent motorbikes, you can rent bicycles, even cars. I would recommend just rent a bicycle because with a bicycle you can go everywhere and you are not taking risks of crashing anything. That's my personal recommendation, and that's up to you. In general, in Costa Rica, the main transportation method is buses. You get buses everywhere. The prices could be from 200 colones up to 4,000 or 5,000 colones, even more, depending on the distance where you're going. I would say that it's kind of like an average price. I would say that it's cheap or too high. It's like kind of in the middle. The bad thing is the roads. The roads are not really good. They are full of holes. The cars are falling into the holes all the time. That's the downside of the transport in Costa Rica, I would say. And also, not all the time they are right on time where they should be. From Puerto Viejo, I made my way to San Jose. That is the main city of the country, is the capital of the country. I took a bus from Puerto Viejo that took me somewhere around 6.5 hours up to San Jose, that is the main city. I arrived there in the night and I really had a bad experience with a taxi driver because usually the prices could be maybe $2 or $3 to take me from that place to a hostel that was close to that place. But the taxi driver, as he saw that I had a backpack, I had all my stuff, I was a tourist, so I don't know, he thought I was like from a rich country or something like that, and he shared me like $10, maybe a little more than $10 actually, but the price should have been maybe $3 to $4. So you gotta be careful with taxi drivers in these places because most of the times they want to take advantage of you as you're a visitor and you don't know the prices. But this is something that you have to know, and it's that there is Uber in Costa Rica, in San Jose, just in San Jose and like main cities that are around San Jose, like Alajuela. They have Uber. You can get an easily Uber, and it's an average price. It's way easier than having troubles with a taxi driver. San Jose is a big city, it's a main city, and as all big cities there is not really that much to do over there. But if you do a very deep research, you're gonna find a lot of good things to do, a lot of good places to visit, and very good food. So I personally like hiking. One of the first things that I did when I got into this place was book a volcano adventure, hiking in a volcano. I went to this volcano that is called Poas volcano in Costa Rica. It has an acidic lagoon and it's just, dude, it's mind-blowing. I love it. But something that you need to know if you're going to a national park in this country is that you may be required to do a reservation before. You get into a website that you just can look it up on Google. It's a website for national parks in Costa Rica, and you're gonna just put your information there. They're gonna charge you by credit card, and then when you get there you show like a receipt and they let you in. You need to do this sometime before you get into the place because it takes a little bit to process, but once you are done you're gonna be able to get into the park. And the downside of this city is that because the pandemic situation that has been going on for a while now, a lot of people have lose their jobs, a lot of business went bankrupt, and there's a lot of people out in the streets asking for money, especially if you're a visitor, if you are a tourist that is going into this country, and when the people see you in the streets they ask you for money, like some coins, colones. And I think it's very sad to see all these people on the streets. They have regulations for people when they walk in the streets. You need to be in your home before 10 p.m. because there is a curfew, and if you are outside in the streets by that time and the police, they get you out there, they're gonna give you kind of like a ticket that you have to pay, or if not, kind of like go to jail or something like that. So I think that's also a downside of what's going on in Costa Rica right now. The prices in this city are pretty high. I would say that they are higher than in Puerto Viejo, and it's because it's a big city, it's a main city, it's the capital of the country, and I think all big cities, all these main cities are always having higher prices than the entire country. But you can get food for maybe $10–11 if you go to a normal restaurant. But there are these little restaurants that are called soda places. They're like sodas, they have always a sign that says soda. And these places are basically little local restaurants where they sell local food. The food is amazing, it's so tasty, I love it, and it's pretty cheap. They could be maybe $4, $6, sometimes even less, but I would recommend them a lot. It's the cheapest option that you can find over there. Now, if you're gonna get drunk, if you're gonna get wasted, you need to go to a bar. The most common beer over Costa Rica is a Pilsen. I tried and it's pretty good, but it could be a little bit expensive, maybe $2 a bottle, sometimes even more, depending on where you go. So I think getting drunk in Costa Rica is a little bit expensive. My time in San Jose was pretty short. I used it just as a connecting point to go to Santa Teresa and also get a little bit of rest in the city. So I went from San Jose straight to Santa Teresa. I had to take a bus that took me maybe 4 hours. No, it was actually less, it was like 2 hours. It took me from San Jose, that is the main city, to Punta Arenas, that is in the Pacific side. And from Punta Arenas, I took a ferry. First time in my life taking a ferry. It was a good experience for me. I had never been before in a boat or something in the ocean until that moment, so it was very, very cool for me. Oh, something I forgot to mention is that when I was in San Jose, I was in a train. First time in my life getting into a train. It was a very good experience. It was very wobbly. The train was just like moving side, 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 side. It was very cool. I love it. But now back to the story. So I took a ferry from Punta Arenas to a place that is near to Santa Teresa. I got there and then I took a bus from there to go to Santa Teresa. I fell asleep on the bus and they passed the place where I should stop, so I had to take another bus from where the bus dropped me to get to Santa Teresa. I finally got to Santa Teresa. My first impressions were kind of like, this place is amazing. I love the place since the first time I saw it. It was so beautiful. There was a lot of people in the streets walking barefoot, shirtless, and a lot of surfers. Everyone was carrying a surfing board. And something that really surprised me was that the main way to move around over there were motorbikes. It was literally like a movie for me, because I see these movies like people from India in the streets, it's like motorbikes, like 100 motorbikes at the same time going in the road. Well, for me it was the same experience because there were dozens of motorbikes in the streets in this place. Something else that I saw was quads. A lot of people was using quads to move around, these ATV stuff just to move around. And in this place I did stay in a hostel that I would recommend 100%. It's called Elgato Rojas. It's just beautiful. The prices are, I would say, are a little normal for the area because it's a touristic spot. A lot of visitors go over there, and so when there are visitors, the prices are always up. But anyway, this place was amazing. I love it. The people from there, they were just so good, so lovely, so friendly. One of my favorite activities that I did in this place in Santa Teresa was surfing. I didn't have any kind of experience surfing. It was my first time doing it. I fell from the board like 50 times. I almost broke an ankle because the leash was attached to my leg, and then one wave just rolled me over. It took the board all the way there, and then it was just like pulling my ankle. But it was amazing. I love that experience. I will repeat it again 100 times if I need to. You know, the downside of this place, I would say one of them is the roads. They are dirt roads, and they got hundreds hundreds and hundreds of holes. I would say that there's more holes than a road, but that's why the people use motorbikes and the ATVs. And talking about ATVs, this is another downside. This is a pretty sad story for me because I decided to rent a quad, an ATV, so I could be able to see everything in town because it's large. It's not big, but it's large. It's like all around the coast. So I ended renting this ATV stuff. I got it for 24 hours and it was like maybe 2 hours after I rented. I was going a little too hard. I was getting a very good time in that quad. I was like, you know, like having a blast. And I was turning around. When I was turning around, I put too much gas in the quad, so it kind of like went very fast, and as I was turning around, it just flipped. I was turning and then boom, I fell from the quad. I got a scratch here, I got another scratch on my leg. I think a lot of pain on my ribs and also on my back. And that came like a few days after. Well, it was crazy. But the thing is that I didn't check that this quad didn't have an insurance. When I got it, I didn't check that. And when you rent something over there, when you rent a quad, they make you sign like a contract. It was my fault. I didn't read it. It was a small black letter on the contract that said, if something happens to the vehicle, you need to be responsible. You need to pay for whatever damage it gets. So I had to pay about $200 and it was just a little scratch in one of the sides of the quad. But yeah, they shared me that much. I'm pretty sure they didn't fix it. I'm pretty sure if I go back there and I see the quad, it's gonna be the same thing. Because I think it's like a general thing that they do with the tourists. They just wanna milk your pockets, your wallet. I need to breathe. I'm getting a little frustrated now that I remember all that stuff. Okay. I'm ready to continue. But yeah, it was an amazing place, amazing experience, good vibes, good people, very good food. I tried tacos. I personally haven't tried that many tacos in my life. In Panama, I have tried some tacos. I won't say that they're good. I tried some tacos in San Jose too, not that good. But in this place, there is a little kind of like restaurant in a corner that is called the Taco Corner. I tried tacos over there, dude, and it just blew my mind. It was so good. I love those tacos. No, I don't think there are regulations in this place in Santa Teresa. I didn't see a single cop during my time there. I was there a few days and I didn't see police at all, cops, nothing like that. I'm not sure if there is a hospital, if there are ambulances or something, but I didn't see anything similar to that. Now let's talk about security. Yay! In Costa Rica, there are some places where you should not go. Costa Rica is pretty safe in general. I would say that it's kind of like maybe a little bit safer than Panama, or maybe about the same. Well, let's leave it there. But there are some places where you should not go. One of these places is called Infiernillo. The other one is Alajuelita, and like these places are a lot of little places in the entire Costa Rica that they have some gangs. There's some bad people over there, you know, these bad guys, like, you know what I'm talking about. Because that accident that is mentioned about the ATV stuff, I blew my budget for Costa Rica and I had to leave the country. Right now, where you see me here, I'm in Nicaragua, and if you see that I am in a room, it's because there are a lot of stuff going on now here in this country. A lot of people have told me to don't use my camera outside. Journalists are forbidden in this country. If they see me with a camera, they can give me a hard time, they can take me to jail, they can take my camera and make me delete all my footage and all that stuff. So I'm working my way, I'm doing research, I'm talking to people in order to get some permits, and if I can't get the permits, I'm just gonna go and try it. Like if I wanna go in the streets all with my camera, if I get caught or something by the cops, I will find my way out. No, this is my favorite part. the fun facts about Costa Rica. Sorry, I got too excited. As I was saying, fun facts about Costa Rica or interesting facts about Costa Rica. There is a movie that most of you guys have watched. It's called Jurassic Park. This movie was filmed in an island of Costa Rica. It's an island that is in the Pacific side. It's a couple of miles away from the mainland. And yes, it was filmed over there. That's one of my favorite movies ever. I love it, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys also love it. Costa Rica is also considered one of the happiest countries in the entire world. People is just amazing, so lovely. I would say that they are way more lovely than Panama. Panama is a little bit more developed than Costa Rica could be, and a lot of people is just busy in their own world, in their own business, that they don't really have the time to express love, to express affection for others in the streets. There's some people that still doing the smiling to the people when they're in the streets, like you see someone walking, you're like, hey, or like, what's up, ¿qué sopa? Like this stuff, I do that. I'm one of the crazy ones. But yeah, it's amazing in Costa Rica. It's just so warm. You feel that you are connecting to the people, and that's one of my favorite things ever. Something else that is very interesting is that Costa Rica is one of the 5 blue zones in the world. A blue zone is basically a region or a place where the people usually live longer than in other places. But I bet that is because these people are so happy and they are so chill. So I think I'm gonna live for 100 or 200 years. I'm getting a great time over here. I'm enjoying it, and of course, always smiling. That's the way. The only thing that I have to say about Costa Rica is thanks to all the people that I met on my journey, all my friends. I met a lot of friends over there. I made good contacts, very good people from all over the world, and also a lot of locals in Costa Rica that they are mis mais. So if you are planning to travel to Costa Rica soon, or if you have someone who is planning to travel to Costa Rica soon, this video could contain a lot of helpful information. Also, if you need to ask anything about this country, like questions or something, you can write me on my email and I will be happy to answer it. But this is it. This is the end of this little review of a country. Thank you guys so much for following. Thank you so much for your support. Love you guys. Pura vida. My